Hello guys, it's your fellow investor here with another video. This video I'll be reacting to Positive Investing, who I believe yesterday or today, early in the morning for me, he just posted a Hyliion video, a stock price prediction, and if you should buy Hyliion or not. If you're wondering why we are already over the 4-minute mark, that's because from the start he didn't say anything from the topic. He was just basically saying that he was trading the stock and not investing into it, which is fine, but it would be okay for like 1 minute or 2 minutes, but 4 minutes just the same thing over and over basically. It's not like being too aggressive, but it almost sounded like he's like preaching his ego or some way. It's always nice to do the right calls, right? But you don't have to, talk about it that much. So with that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll try just to cut out the boring parts or the uninteresting parts, or which we already know, and just point out where he's wrong, and so you get the most information from your time. So let's get straight into it.
So anyways, guys, sum it up really in terms of why is the stock selling off. I'm not going to sit here and pretend, blabber on for the next 10 minutes and, give reasons as to why I think it's sold off. I just think it was simply profit taking. Valuation got too high. Investors were like, I'm happy with this. Selling off, and that just led to more selling, like I said, which is why we saw a big crash. So now,
if this is what he's talking about from the September or August, that's because there was big spec hype, which you are all most likely aware of, and Hyliion was part of it, and specs were just on this one big bubble, and it was only a matter of time until it would pop up. But I wasn't that experienced back then, but still I invested in Hyliion for long term, so it was nice to be in big profits. But if I want to cash out, I don't know, 3 to 10 years, I shouldn't really care about if it's gonna do in 1 week like 100-200%. But next time, if this is going to happen without any big reasons, I will definitely trim my position. However, I will hold most of my shares if the stock is going to do like 100% in 5 days.
now shifting to the future, what is my forecast for Hyliion in 2021? So Hyliion as a business has some technology that's very intriguing. They are actually doing a couple things differently from other companies that are focused here on the semi-truck space, which is what caught my attention initially. The bottom line, in my opinion, is that their core differentiator is to allow traditional trucks to be able to retrofit on this hybrid solution that Hyliion builds, which allows the trucks to be more efficient and supposedly future-proof. Now, my concern here, and kind of where my mindset has changed a little bit, is that I don't know anymore if this is a sustainable business plan going forward. The world has changed a ton in 2020. It's clear that EV and pure EV stocks are pretty much where investors are betting that the future of the world is going to be.
Well, if you're talking about pure EV play, Hyliion is actually the only, and probably will be the only player or company which will be available to give the customers pure EV option. Because Tesla, they don't have pure EV option, because there's some dirty background of where the electricity is coming from. However, with Hyliion ERX, there is a possibility of generating, from 20 to 30 miles of pure EV play. This is it's very super hard, and it won't be achieved in next 5 years, getting pure EV play. I believe after 5 to 10 years, Tesla might achieve some big corporations, or just, building enough solar panels, windmills and stuff like that, or maybe gathering or sourcing the electricity from waves. So there would be almost pure EV play. However, Hyliion can convert during their on road, they can produce 20 to 30 miles of pure EV play, on board. This is something what I have to say the moderator of Positive Investing didn't find out in the investor presentation, so he really dropped here when he said this, and he didn't say it was Hyliion. So this is what really got me off my seat.
I don't know if this hybrid model that they're working on right now is really going to be much of a moneymaker for them. Initially, the thesis when I bought Hyliion was,
Oh yeah, the hybrid model is going to be quite a moneymaker. They already have over $1.2 million in revenues. If they would count the revenue, they would be 1.2 million, and their estimated revenue for 2020 is 1 million. So there's one more quarter left. They're still working, they're working on producing and delivering more of their hybrid electric units. It will not be their biggest revenue stream, but right now, until the first half of 2021, it's going to be their only revenue stream. And we can see that they can not only just install the hybrid solution onto already existing trucks, they can still make like the new truck and sell it for way more with bigger profits and margins. So it's really up to them how they'll go with this approach, but it's a good start. And to be honest, they don't really need to earn revenue for the next 3 years at least. If we know they have like, I don't know, over $600 million in cash. Yeah, I'll get that later on in the video.
You know what? Yeah, they have huge potential because they can just go retrofit this on any existing truck. The company doesn't have to buy a brand new electric truck, which usually costs hundreds of thousands of dollars. They could just buy this retrofit, much cheaper, still efficient, just helps improve the truck overall. And that's kind of the thesis that most people bought in on. And while in theory that sounds great, in reality, once I thought about it some more, there are a lot of issues with this model.
It's the difference between thinking and doing research, but it's all right that you think, but maybe do a research as well.
Maintenance is still something that has to happen. The truck is still going to have components that are going to be powered by diesel that need maintenance, need constant repairs, and that's still going to be very expensive over time as these trucks age.
Well, if you know, Hyliion is going to implement some new electric stuff into their trucks. So it's going to be kind of a bridge between the diesel maintenance and electric vehicles maintenance. So therefore the jobs of the diesel maintainers, or I don't know how to say it, if you go to maintain your car, they are the people who take care of their cars. It's the same with the trucks, with the diesel trucks. So there will be the bridge which Hyliion will provide for people who take care of the diesel trucks. They will take care of the hybrid trucks as well, and then the people can fluently transfer to the electric trucks or electric cars. However, current technicians aren't really qualified to take care of, for example, Tesla. Or not all technicians will be on the world qualified to take care only of Tesla. There will be way more EV brands. I think there's not really much of an issue.
That's why I honestly think like a model what Tesla's working on with the Tesla semis is where the future is going to be for this industry, because they're building something from the ground up, fully electric, because it eliminates any of those core issues that diesel trucks have with their components. And this alone, guys, could be worth the extra cost for companies over the long term. But hey,
well, it's nice what Tesla wants to achieve. However, there are no updates about their truck. And we know with Tesla, they are doing a lot of updates. There's a lot of news with Tesla, but we haven't heard about the semi-truck for a long time. Which really puts me in a curious spot, like how they're doing with the semi-truck. And another point is that they're building it from the ground up, as you said. And for there, as the big company of their size, it's actually beneficial. They have the resources, they have the factories, etc. However, Hyliion can make it more efficient, more profitable for them, and easier for them if they combine their partnerships and everyone delivers part of it, and then they just put it all together. And Hyliion just focuses on one thing right now, which is the powertrain. And also, Tesla semi-trucks consume so much electricity that I'm not really sure how in the world it's going to charge, like how it's going to work in mass production, Maybe that's also a reason why worldwide Tesla has only, like slightly over 1,000 pre-orders. And we are talking about Tesla, a multi-billionaire company, and they have less pre-orders than Hyliion, this speaks for itself.
Hey, the market here for these trucks is still early. Hyliion could have a niche that they keep growing with and keep expanding with, but I think the real future is going to be with pure play models of electric trucks.
Alright, well then you're just proving my point, because Hyliion will have the only model available with the pure EV play. And Hyliion is pure EV play. It's working on electricity, and if you take the RNG, for the RNG usually comes from the waste, which otherwise would be just bad, and now they're gonna transfer it into the RNG, and it's gonna fuel full electric truck. You see, the full electric truck, and they will be able to produce pure electricity, which not even Tesla can do.
Now here, so Hyliion does recognize this is the future, which is why they're working on their own truck as well, called the Hypertruck ERX, and this will be an electric powertrain truck. Now I went to go see what the reservation details are like, and there's a $5,000 deposit required, which is respectable, but they do say that demo trucks are scheduled for mid-2021. The timeline for full production, based on their previous reports that I looked through, is sometime 2022, but they don't really mention any of this on the reservation screen, which maybe they're facing some delays and this could be pushed out a little bit further. But just remember, the competition is competing heavily here with tighter timelines.
The only competition is Tesla, and Hyliion stated in their Q3 earnings report that there's been no issues whatsoever which would delay their plan as they estimated, as they projected. I don't know, probably Positive Investing didn't really look into their quarter reports earnings. I'm not sure what they wrote there, but if the company wants to invest into the truck and want to pre-order it, then they'll most likely check their investor presentation. Then they might contact the company and ask for more details, and maybe they've provided them. It doesn't have to be everywhere, everything. If they have it stated on their website, where is their investor presentation, I think that's enough.
And guys, I know that Hyliion likes to say they have a product that they sell today that they actually make money on, so let's take a look at their numbers. From their 10Q report, they clearly state that prior to completion of the business combination, the merger I believe, they neither engaged in any significant operations nor generated any operating revenue. They do add that they generated non-operating income in the form of investment income from investments held in the trust account, so this is not really product related. So I kind of disregard that there. It's a one-time thing. This has resulted in net losses for the business though in their latest quarter, with the company reporting around $18.6 million in net losses thanks to all their expenses and obligations.
So let me just really big. If we take in mind, let's round it up to $20 million per quarter they will be losing, all right? Let's say even that they will lose $20 million per quarter. So let's multiply it 4 times. So we have 80 million per year. So they can easily go 5 years with losing money without delivering any products. How ridiculous is that? This is such a good balance sheet that they're in such a good cash position that this isn't really an issue for them. They have such good fundamentals, it's unbelievable. And I don't know why I didn't mention any time in this video how much money they have in cash right now. I feel like he wants to just, because he saw that the stock is doing well in the past 2 days, he just wants to shut it down and maybe buy in cheaper, I don't know. At the end of the video, he says he's neutral, he's waiting on side. From his point of view, he's very bearish in this video. Even I would say Meet Kevin is more neutral and objective towards the Hyliion, and he took it from a different perspective, which if I look back, I appreciated way more than Chicken Genius Singapore video, which I might reaction as well on my channel. That was really one of the worst Hyliion's introduction or commentary which I've ever seen, and I will probably ever see. So if you want to have a good laugh, I recommend you checking out Chicken Genius video about Hyliion. And Positive Investing is pointing out really big some bearish points, but he seems like he's not very well informed. So let's continue with the video.
$18.6 million in net losses thanks to all their expenses and obligations. So here we have a company losing money. They don't really have revenues to show for a product that consumers really are able to buy today. But hey, at least they're ahead of some other companies.
I believe he even said himself that there is the product hybrid solution. And they can make the truck. They can put the CNG onto already existing trucks. They can make the brand new truck. I don't know. It feels like he just really wants to prove that Hyliion is a bad company. But it might only be me who thinks this. I don't know. Let me know in the comments.
Nikola, that just had some drawings that they were trying to sell investors on. So I think
I like that he at least doesn't compare Nikola with Hyliion. So that's why I didn't put the thumbs down. If he would say something that Hyliion has the same thing with Nikola, I would put thumbs down, because this is where people just go overboard for me. But when he mentioned this, it's all right.
As far as 2021 goes, my forecast for this, I think it's going to be a critical year for Hyliion. It's going to be kind of a make or break year for them. If they're able to actually deliver on these demo models sometime next year, it's going to be big. If not, Tesla could come in here, be the first real player in this space and just blow the competition away, be so far ahead that, customers that were considering Hyliion may just cancel those reservations and go with Tesla.
Well, obviously, Tesla is so much ahead in electricity and electric vehicles. And with their battery technologies, nobody can compare with this. Everybody should be aware of that. And that Tesla is way safer investment into the future, if you think more general. But in the trucking sector, in the Class 8 sector, they're not really, they're not yet in where they should be, and I would say that Hyliion has even edge on them in that sector. And as he mentioned, next year he said it's going to be critical year. I would say it's going to be amazing year for Hyliion, because Thomas Healy at least says the real information, if it's bad or if it's good. And he said in their statement from the third quarter that everything is going according to plan. So I'm not really worried about what he just said here, Mr. Positive Investing. So yeah, let's just continue.
Hyliion really, really needs to focus here on meeting these timelines, because that's what investors are putting their hard-earned money on. If investors see that Hyliion is pushing back these timelines, things are delayed, they're not meeting their scheduled timelines, guess what? A lot of investors are going to sell, and that is going to push the stock even lower.
I don't know what more to say to this. He's just repeating himself so many times. It's really hard to focus what if there's some new information, because I don't know, it feels for me that he wants to make the video as long as possible and that he is really just repeating himself all over again. But yeah, if it's quite natural that if some company doesn't deliver on dates, that it's not really a good sign for the company or the stock price. However, Hyliion doesn't have exact dates. But even if you look at Virgin Galactic stock, they've not delivered, I don't know if 2 or 3 times. The stock went 20% down, but then it went 50% up. So it doesn't really matter. If there's the publicity, if there's the hype, the stock can go up and down really quickly. And with the latest price target of $20, I can't see the stock going lower than that, or lower than $18 again.
So now, what is my price prediction for Hyliion stock? So usually when I get to this section of the video, I like to do a price to sales ratio calculation.
This is just bad because, as we know, Hyliion is not having revenue right now, and they will not have it for next quarter or two. So I'm just gonna skip it here, because he's just taking Hyliion as a value company, just like Pepsi, Coca-Cola, or some kind of bank. So it's just totally wrong angle to look at this company. So I'm just gonna skip, and I'll continue after he will stop talking about this, because he just says that it doesn't make sense, and he's right. If he looks at it just like Warren Buffett wouldn't invest in this company, because this is a company which would be having a sense for Warren Buffett to invest in year later. But usually you get rich when you invest earlier than the most of the other people. If you get the information, you get the fundamentals, you know what you're investing in, what's their business plan, who's their CEO, and more, then you get to make the money. Just like with Tesla, if you invested in Tesla 1.5 years ago, 2 years ago, when almost nobody was talking about it, there was such negative news about Tesla, you are now really in such a good position. Look at Jeremy from Financial Education. He's now well set with his Tesla investment, just because he took the risk and invested in when every analyst was saying that's overpriced. There are so many bearish articles and only few bullish articles where there are bullish YouTubers. So this is the same position here with me with Hyliion.
Making a bet here that, everything they say will work out flawlessly. Now, I'm not going to bet against Hyliion. I think they have a chance. I really do hope they succeed, because we need competition in this world for any industry for innovation to push forward. So no, I'm not shorting this stock or buying puts or anything like that on the stock, if that's what you're wondering or assuming. To me though, I see this as a very high risk play, even buying in right now at these prices. Because, like I said, my mindset has changed on this company since when I first bought it. The world has changed since the company first.
I don't know what changed about why he changed his mind about this company when this company only moved forward and not backwards like with Nikola. I'm not really sure. Maybe he got some information from inside which not everyone else knows. I'm not sure where he's heading with this. But for me, it feels like that he's more of a conservative investor or maybe a swing trader. And right now the price is around $18, which is under $20 it's a nice sale, and if it's around $15 it's absolute steal. So this is just my price, and I can see it in the next 1 year hitting $30 very easily. By the end of 2021, $30 at least in my eyes.
First really gained popularity. And it's clear that EVs, pure EVs, are the future, so we need to see Hyliion execute on that.
Well, I'm glad he's highlighting again the pure EVs, because that's what Hyliion will be doing with the ERX. It's pure EV play. Although it might not seem for someone like Positive Investing, who hasn't done enough due diligence or maybe not listened to interviews, stuff like that, but it's natural when a person is not very interested in investing into some company. They don't do enough due diligence, so they just take what is very easy to find and then they assume and then they make some conclusions from that. So I can blame him. This is just like very normal, and it's way worse with the shorting companies. When they publish a short article, they just take everything what could possibly go wrong, like they almost accuse Thomas Healy of being a criminal or something like that. So this is nothing really against positive investing. This is just normal things which happen because people just don't do enough due diligence and they are not enough informated.
We'll have to see if they can hit these 2022 numbers, 2023, 2024. And if they can, and you buy today and you're placing that bet on that, you're getting an extremely cheap valuation, which could pay off massively over the long term. But just remember, it's a bet. Personally, my price prediction for Hyliion for 2021 is probably going to be in like the $20 to $25 per share range. It may dip a little bit below that like it is now, but I think we're going to not really see a whole lot of movement in 2021 unless he's surprised.
Well, I think I'll stop the video here. Then he's just talking about some things and it's not that important. You can watch the video yourself. I'll put the link in the description. He's saying that the price will be $20 to $25. And I don't know if he just forgot that they will be introducing and announcing, delivering the demo, starting the mass production of their ERX. They will be having more partnerships, more deals, announcing about their hybrid solution unit. And it's just like, I don't know, there's something fishy about his video, about, overall, it's okay, but there are some points which are really questionable for myself, because I've done a lot of due diligence for Hyliion, and you know that if you're watching my channel. So I'm really just like confused why he says in the next year it's going to be 20 to 25%. If you keep in mind that Hyliion was, one time, $50 per share. So without any news whatsoever, it was only pure hype. And if there's going to be news, reasonable news, the price will move up rapidly. After Hyliion will announce anything positive from their side officially, there are plenty of news about Hyliion, but it's not coming from Hyliion themselves, But after they will announce any PR on their website, it's gonna move like up, because there's absolutely nothing negative that they have. The last negative thing that could come up is the redemption of their warrants, and this is already done. We are coming closer to the end of December, and after December it's gonna go it's not going to lower, in my opinion. There's been also, if you watch my latest Hyliion video, there's been an article about a very big volume of options. So I don't know why he didn't include this as well. It's really easy to find if you just type Hyliion news. It's almost like one of the first articles which pops up, and you can freely read it. And you see that people are really looking forward and they're expecting Hyliion to move above $20 in the next month. So in my opinion, there is quite a big potential of making 10 to 20% of profits in next month or two. And in 1 year, if everything should go according to plan, if you buy today, you could maybe make even 100% back. I don't see it as a bet. Maybe people saw Tesla as a bet, but however, the as he said, the world has changed and people are more open to innovations. You can get way more information nowadays than 8 years ago. You can even reach out as an individual. You can reach out to many companies and write them, and often they will just reply to you and answer your questions. I will be trying to get Thomas Healy to do an interview with me, probably in next year. Hopefully I'll reach 1,000 subscribers by the time, so it will look decent. But I don't think he would come up to me and say, all right, let's do an interview. I hope I brought you some value, and if I did, please consider subscribing to my channel. And if you found this video really helpful, feel free to click on that like button. That helps me out tremendously. What do you think about the positive investing video? Are you agreeing with him or disagreeing? Let me know down in the comment section below. Also, if you watch this video, you'll notice that I posted a comment here. Let me show you. I posted here a comment. It's very short, but I think it's just making sense to just post a comment here when I'm really interested in Hyliion. So once again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in another video.